Hey, Sandberg rounds third, slide safely into second. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts.
Woo!
Ah,
Beautiful. Thank you, Cubby. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. I'm Tom. Welcome to our Sunday night hangout. I'm joined tonight by Cubby Knoll, whom you just heard doing his Harry Carey.
Hey.
Hello. Jose, also joining us. We got a little Arizona, Florida connection. We're making some orange juice and counting our calories tonight because it's Sunday night. Let's just dive right in. I mean, we're pretty much on fantasy football playoffs right now. If your league hasn't started the football playoffs, which some leagues that may seem early, people are like, whoa. A lot of leagues are going as early as they can now, right? You guys are both in leagues, I think, where people have started playoffs already.
correct. I'm in one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
one playoff. 2 weeks per matchup. Yep.
Okay, so it's not entirely unheard of to be in the playoffs now. We're a little bit behind that, I suppose. That may be something FSAA needs to look at in the future. But playoffs are starting. It's playoff time.
I prefer the early playoffs because last year I almost lost because Gurley was held back.
Okay. And that's no fun. Like,
no.
To like lose a playoff match or have some problem where
teams are resting their stars.
Yeah, and that's always the complaint, but it seems like it's starting earlier and earlier, and this is happening for every sport, mind you. So it's not entirely unique to football anymore. But, the earlier you start playoffs as a commissioner for any sport, I think generally, you're going to have better outcomes, at least more competitive matchups. So that's absolutely something to consider. Let's talk about you said you're in the playoffs in one league. What kind of team are you looking at here? Like, I mean, are you're obviously in line for the playoffs in FSAA on Fantracks, but the league you're in the playoffs, like,
that league, it was a league that's been set up for 4 years. Last year I actually won, and I got a trophy. So this year I'm close to getting a trophy again. The playoffs started this week, so it's 2 weeks of accumulated stats. So the guy I'm playing has 116 points. I already have 180, so he's probably screwed. There's no way to catch up by the second week.
Okay, so but you're like, I mean, would you say that, like, just generally speaking, like, I'm looking at our league right now, just kind of trying to gauge, I've mentioned maybe I should fix our scoring, although I see I have more points than just about everybody but you this week, inherently or incidentally. I don't know why I said inherently, but I felt like there was low scoring in this league. But, like, you and Jade, I forget who Pimp My Rudy is. Sorry for whoever that is. I forgot who you are that's in our league. But you're in first place in our league. I mean, should I have started the playoffs this week type of thing?
It would have been nice for me.
Yeah, going against the guy that's in second place with 150 points to 101 points. I suppose you're correct.
Yeah.
Now, let me just see if I can, and again, bear with me. I'm not familiar, as I should be as a commissioner. When do our playoffs start? See, this is the trouble, like, switching to a new fantasy platform. It's like, okay, I know where everything is on Yahoo. I just have to hit schedule and, like, click ahead. Oh, that's week, blah, blah, blah. And that's when that happens. But on Fantracks, it's a little bit more complicated. And so that's why it's not exactly for first-time people.
No,
sad to say, this is our first time, right? I mean, we'll get it. We'll figure this out. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty well matched. I mean, J Money's in there, Angry Joe's in there. Like, all the usual suspects are where they belong. It was a pretty good showing this year. I mean, even Big Daddy Bronson has more wins than the worst team in this league, which is rare, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, so like when you do enter the play, I swear, I think it starts next week. I'm going to have to look. Now, let's get this straight. Seriously? All right, everybody hold on. Seriously, this is how bad it is, Jose and James. You guys, I literally, all right, playoffs. Here we go. Round 2. Wow. Okay, guys. All right, this is how bad it is. We don't start until, well, technically next week.
Next week?
Yeah. I mean, we have like the rest of this week. I guess Thursday games. The way so I mean, I guess this Thursday game counts for this week. I guess that's how Fantracks works. I guess I'm not.
Well, I'm okay for being next week because I have 2 of my top guns on a bye week, Mahomes and Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Well, I hate to. But all right. So you want it to start December 4th after your guys are off the bye week?
Yeah, that would be.
Well, you ironically have a bye week.
Yeah.
So the players are off the bye week, but you're on a bye week, which kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
Well, but so we have a 16 playoff format in a 14-team league. And next year, yeah, you know what? I think playoffs should be starting this week. That seems about right to me. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me.
Like not last week, not like already going, but like, well, maybe. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would be this week. Yeah, man.
What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think. James, what do you think? You in here, buddy? He had to mute because he's got a little kid running around in there. He's got Isla, little lit, going crazy. But I'm starting to think maybe 1 week earlier. And I thought I started him early technically, but it's probably time to think about 1 more week early. Now just out of curiosity, Jose, what format is that league on? Is that Fantracks or is that ESPN or what is that?
On ESPN.
Okay, so
I think this is the 4th or 5th year I've been in that league.
Okay. Yahoo lacks the most options as far as customization for when your playoffs start, from what I'm aware. At least, I mean, again, we used to be all Yahoo. That's where I've played the most. I mean, you can play NFL.com. I actually like NFL.com. I'm
in one league.
Format, but I like.
I'm in one league, NFL.com.
Okay, yeah, it's again visually. I love Yahoo the most. Still do Fantracks guy, but NFL.com, like if you play fantasy on NFL, the beauty of it is that it's not that hard to navigate. Fantracks, I'm still like, wait a minute, where's this? Like, and again, I'm the huge supporter of Fantracks. There's just so many options and so much to it. It's so easy to just get like lost and like, where the fuck is this set? Like, and like, but this is why as fantasy addicts, fantasy sports addicts, we work with a place like Fantracks in the sense of they give us high dollar paid premium type leagues for free so that we can test them, break them, and tell them what we think could be improved. So
the only complaint I have so far about with them is you can't see your projected points in the beginning of the week. You have to click here and click there to figure it out.
It's not just like listed. Yeah, you have to like look for it specifically. And that's one of the things I've talked to about with them, like just as far as how they project their stats or how they show what's projected or how they show what's happened so far. Cubby just dropped out. I'm guessing he had to go put little one to bed, which is fine. Thanks for joining us, James. The intro is enough as it was. If you come back, that'd be great. No big deal if you don't. But yeah, Fantracks, the way they display stats, can be a bit like they show it in averages, and you're kind of like, well, I want to see what I'm looking at this week, and you can see that it is there. You just have to know how to, like you said, Jose, you just got to go to that pull down menu and select, okay, week X, like week 9, week 10, whatever, projected, like so you have to make a few more.
I find it that way. I forget how I find it, but I don't think I find it that way.
Okay, all right. So if you're looking at your team page, like just as an example, if anybody's hanging out now that plays on Fantracks, let me just show you. I'll pull it up just to give you a taste so you can see it. No, it's fine. Oh, Firefox, of course, is updating. Just so people understand, just again, it's a little bit more of an advanced platform. Because again, there's so many options and settings and whatnot. Here is the screen for Fantracks. This is our league homepage. Give me just 1 second. And there you go. You should be able to see it now.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. We got it. I'm presenting to everyone. So we go to our team and we're like, okay, like, here's my team. And this is it just shows you your like total points, but it's like averages or it's either like totals or something. You're like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And don't laugh at my team. It's been crap. I'm capable of big points weeks, but I'm also capable of fucking myself out the frame or not setting my lineup, which I guess is the case.
You got Kamara, you got Ertz, you got a decent team.
Yeah, but it didn't perform well, and I just didn't. I was probably a little lazy with my lineups. I could have been better, but like for instance, let's just say like, all right, I want to see projected. So let me just go to
projected per game. Okay, I didn't know this screen.
Yeah, you get projected per game, and then you have to select the scoring period. So let's check the playoffs next week. So it'll give you kind of like this fantasy points here. That's their projected projected fantasy points. So you have to make.
I never found that.
This is just on the team page. You can do it. I always click over to standard because tracked. I mean, again, I don't know why, but this just looks cleaner to my eye when I hit standard. I don't know why. Maybe it's the spacing. I really don't know why it looks just cleaner to my eye. But like, so okay, all right. So like, let's make sure better get Marlon Mack back in there. Except he's injured, so whatever. The other thing that I would like to talk to Fantracks about is automatic roster setting. Like, and this is something you can do on Yahoo. I don't know if ESPN does that, but when you just drag and drop or click and click kind of thing.
All right, now how the hell do I get to that again? Fuck, I'm trying to follow you and I fucking lost it again.
Okay, so you're on your homepage. You're at the league. Wait. All right, hang on. Let's go to. All right, so here's your league on Fantracks. You're like, all right, I'm in this league. Sweet.
Okay.
You go look at your team. You hit the team button on the pull down. You don't have to hit the pull down and go to any of the options, but you just hit team roster. Basically, it's the first thing up. And then it shows you your team. And it shows you basically this scoring period. So what you want to do is you want to see projected per game. And this is for football. This changes per sport, by the way. Some of these options change. But like, since we've already done this week, let's just go to next week for the playoffs. We'll pretend I'm in the playoffs. And it shows me my projected fantasy points per player here. Okay. So projected per game and which scoring period. It's not just like automatically we're going to show you what you're projected for. You see your totals most of the time. So, in my case, if Mac is uninjured, make sure he's in there. But you got to hit that submit button. That's the other thing. These rosters don't save for you automatically, which is, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but we give them this feedback so that they can make improvements. Like, okay, I'm following, suggestions here. Let's get Kelvin Benjamin out. Woo, whoopity-doo.
I still don't know how to get it. I fucking must be retarded.
Okay, well, I mean, again, it's It is Fantracks. It's a little bit more difficult to picture or just see automatically. So you go, all right, your pull down is here under your stats. Make sure you're on the stats tab because there's tabs up here, right? Those are the main tabs, the league tabs, and then you have team tabs when you're on your team page. So, all right, I'm on my team here. Stats, fantasy points, trends, schedule week, schedule full. I mean, there's probably other ways to do it, but this is just the way that I do it. I'm on the stats page. If I want to see who's projected or who's done what per game, now I'll show you that. I'll show you that for basketball when we get to our.
Okay, I'm on the stats page, but I don't know how to scroll it down to Okay, after I'm on stats.
Okay.
Maybe I don't have that option. You have the option because you're commish.
I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. All right, so you're on the stats page. Like, right? Do you see where I'm here on stats right now?
I'm here on stats right now. Hold on, because I can click back and forth. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so there's this.
And it says stats and it says projected per game. Okay, now hold on. Now let me get to that.
Okay, yeah. So it's just a pull down menu, and like normally you get week or something.
I press stats and I don't. Yeah, I press the stats and I don't. It doesn't scroll down to what.
Do you have this little pull down carrot right here where it says? All right, let me go back. I forget what it shows you. All right, regular season year.
Okay, hold on. Stats, regular season. Let me do that.
You see that YTD?
Oh, regular season. Okay. Oh, okay.
And
projected.
On that.
Now I got it.
Per game.
That's
projected per game, and then I just like standard view because it looks cleaner to my eyeballs for whatever reason. And so that's then it gives you stats for the rest of the week or whatever you're.
Oh shit!
And again, it's not automatic. Like it's not something you maybe.
But at least now I know how to do it. It took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean everything you want from Fantracks is there. You just have to like really dig and find it. Which is okay. I mean, again, there's just more to it. It's such a rich platform that it's easily intimidating. Certainly I am. Intimidating.
Well, I would have not figured it out if it wasn't for you telling me what to do. I figured it out now, but
yeah, well, no, and that's kind of what our relationship with that is that we're used to all these other platforms, ESPN, Yahoo, Flea Flicker, whatever, NFL.com. We have our preferences, our dislikes, and we can tell them. Here's what I really want to see because it's a platform for fantasy sports player by fantasy. And so that's that's just a little quick tutorial, I guess. But yeah, I mean you can see whatever you want. And if you ever have any questions, if you're ever and you don't know what you're doing, you're lost, confused, oh God, what do I do? On Twitter at xfan, letter X, FAN, _12. Just 12. xfan _12. That's Tim from Fantracks, developer. He'll get you straightened out. They've got a service number, and they'll call you back. They've got email support. You can get everything sorted out.
They have Mahomes projected next week for 33 points.
Well, and that doesn't seem unreasonable.
That's because he's playing in Oakland. Fuck.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You got your Patty Mayhem.
I'm lucky. I have 3 Chiefs on my team. I thought I had the wide receiver, but I don't have Kelsey and I have Watkins.
Okay, well, I mean, you can't be feeling bad. I like Kelsey.
Yeah, I got lucky. Kelsey had to buy, and I put in George Kittle in there.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. It's okay, baby. So hopefully, I guess as we hang out, chat. By the way, if you have any comments or questions about anything, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Say hey, hey, you suck. Thumbs up. Leave a comment. Subscribe. All that shit that we do on social media. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm happy to talk if you got questions or whatever. But let's transition. Again, I hope I don't really have anything that's advice for your team because football is a game of attrition. Excuse me. Whereas I think baseball is a big sport. Not that football doesn't require thought, but fantasy-wise, it's very much next man up. Who's the next in line? Somebody got hurt. Somebody didn't show up and sat out the whole season. Right? Like
I feel sorry for people who drafted him in the first round.
You want your money back.
Fuck, especially the money leagues, yeah.
Well, especially. Wait, all right, while we're talking about running back, you've got David Johnson.
Yeah, he's killing me in your league. Well, not your. I don't have him in your league. I have him in other leagues.
But you draft a guy like that, super high in the draft, and you're thinking, this guy's, probably going to even out because he's not ranked like number one anymore. I guess the year he was ranked number one overall, he got injured, right?
Yeah.
So, and now it's just the team setup is injured. It's just the setup is injured. So yeah, you're fucked out the frame. If you got Le'Veon Bell or David Johnson, these are supposed to be your horses.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of the thing about football is you're gonna dig deep and find a replacement. So every week there's going to be at least one or two waiver wire. If you're paying attention,
and the guys that picked up Le'Veon Bell's as backup look like geniuses.
Well, but I mean, how much are you if you just got the next man up?
Yeah, but usually the next man up doesn't do what Connors is doing.
True. Yeah. It's not that they're going to perform at the same level, but they're at least a satisfactory replacement.
Yeah,
they talk about and all that. But in baseball, your star third base down, Nolan down. Who the fuck am I picking? Arenado. Mike Trout.
Yeah.
So it's a different situation. Baseball, when you're finding those diamonds in the rough, you're like reading books and like calculating math and reading stats that I don't understand. That's kind of why I prefer baseball as a fan. There's just a little more to it. And the sample size. You know what I mean? Like football's like by the time you're finally enjoying your team, it's like over. And you're like, damn it! But if I just had a few more games, I could have. Like, do you ever feel that way?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like, damn it! I barely just figured this thing out, and now, fuck, it's too late. That's the sad part about me.
I think we find baseball easier because that's a sport probably all of us have done the longest. I started doing fantasy baseball in 99.
Okay.
and I started doing football in 2008. So that's only roughly 10 years.
Okay.
Well, 99. That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, baseball's like that. Everybody knows. Growing up too. Not everybody plays football. We all know football. But baseball's kind of like as a sport you play as a kid. It's like your first girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then after that, you got baseball, t-ball, whatever you play, But not everybody plays like football where you just smash your brains in. So, I would say, if you are in the football playoffs, good luck. Make the moves. Check your projected stats.
Yes.
Who's the next man up? And let's get kinky, baby.
I just checked it. I don't think the playoffs start next week in your league because I'm playing. Who am I playing? Fantasy 8. I don't think he's. What's his record?
I think he's last.
He's in last, or then the playoffs don't start next week. Then
it said December 4th. I mean, I think that's
okay. Not this coming week, then the next one.
Jesus Christ! I start late.
That's awfully late.
Note to self: figure out when your fucking football playoffs start. Okay.
See, we're used to Yahoo doing it for us, ESPN doing it for us. With this league, you might have had a Fantracks. Maybe you had to set it up yourself.
Well, and you have to do the same in Yahoo, but you don't get as I could start the playoff if I wanted. Like that's how. I mean, Fantracks is just like the whorehouse of all flavors for fantasy nerds. Like Dwight Howard played home. You know what I mean? Like Dwight Howard. But I mean, Fantracks literally just like whatever absurd combination of stats or settings or number of teams, just anything you could think of. It's a Greek bathhouse, baby. Anything goes. No one's asking. Except you because you figure out how to pull it off. But that's why you hit up Tim. XFan_12 on Twitter. I highly recommend you reach out if you're lost. Have any questions?
Or the easiest way for me is to ask you or James.
Well, and then we hit up Tim. Yeah. But again, if you're a fantasy addict, and you're having trouble or you want issues, us, Tim, or just straight to Tim. Gripes go up pain, as they say.
So James was in that rookie draft league that started. I was curious to hear about his team.
Well, if Cubby's around, I'd love to talk about his team. We can talk about that ahead of Dwight Howard. Cubby, you around or?
To me, more baseball talk is more interesting to me than.
Well, we'll fill with he's here in the Hangout, but I think he's got.
Oh yeah, he is. I just saw him
muted.
Picture.
Yeah, I think this is our buddy James Cubby. He's probably putting his daughter like that. Or.
So how many teams is it? Can you at least give us a little bit?
For his league, all right. So preview of James' prospect.
Yes.
It's 10 teams, so it's not like insane. It's not like some Dynasty or
10 for a prospect league. 10 teams.
Well, but the rosters are kind of deep, not insane, but it's only a 10-team league.
The average baseball fan doesn't know dick about prospects.
Well, and so this is a slight stretch of even what most of us, because the roster is just deep, where you're like, okay, I've heard that name.
Yeah.
But am I comfortable with that name? Maybe I should do some homework. Like, just dig a little deep. Check it up a little bit, you know. Like you got to the stats, and that's minor league baseball. Is you don't have the wealth of information to make informed decisions. You have back of the card stats, and you have what you hear from scouts or writers that cover individual teams or leagues, or a handful of fantasy writers that go everywhere. And
the average baseball fan doesn't even know there's prospects in their own team that they follow. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the time, yeah. I mean, so this isn't for your casual necessarily.
No, it's not.
But the way I guess this plays out is it's a rotisserie league. You can only draft prospects, and what qualifies a prospect is never having played majors, obviously, or fewer than 130 at-bats.
130 at-bats, and I think how many innings? 50 innings, I think it is.
Yeah, I think that's about
50 innings pitched.
So there's a few guys that are like not quite a prospect, but okay, I think Arco was coming.
I think he left again.
Yeah, he dropped out. But so just describing his league, I mean, he's got actually Cubby hearing this. Send me a text to your roster so I can tell people about it. I'm just gonna send him a text here. Text me your roster, baby. That's how we talk to each other. But yeah, so we'll have a few that are slightly maybe talent, but the only way you start accumulating stats and accruing stats is once those players are in the majors.
Yeah.
So you get he's sending the roster. He had number one pick overall. This is all right. So
he had the number one pick.
He did. The way he entered this league, like we both got invites. I declined because I'm a cheapskate. I don't want to pay buy-ins for a league that I don't even know if I can pay attention to. Like, it's not expensive to buy in for. Now, if Prospect Team ever invites anybody out there, Jose, if anybody gets invited to one of his leagues, these are good leagues.
Damn, I wish I was.
I mean, he's doing a fourth one. Hit him up. Look for Prospect Fiend on Twitter.
Prospect Fiend. Who is that? That sounds familiar.
I don't know his actual name, but we talk a lot. He's just one of those guys that creates and promotes prospects and talks about that.
So, Cubby, James, did he pick a pitcher or a hitter? I'm gonna guess maybe who he would. To me, if he picked a pitcher number one, it would be Whitley. Is that his name? Whitley?
Yeah, Forrest.
Number two, I would say. I mean, for a hitter, I would say it'd be maybe Gorman.
No.
You don't want Gorman?
No, well, you know who it is. It is number one.
Come
on. I don't know. I'm not even going to give you that many. You know, overall.
Oh, Vladdy. I was thinking of prospects. I don't consider Vladdy. Vladdy's going to be in. I don't consider him.
Well, but he's had no major.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Me of
Vladdy, number one overall.
Yeah.
James has the first pick. It's number one. It's a snake draft.
Yeah.
Keep hitting twice. As the draft wraps back around.
I'm gonna say that it was probably Vladito number 1. Eloy Jimenez probably number 2.
Well, I don't know the total results, but I think Eloy was top 5 for sure.
Top 5.
I only have his team in front of me because I'm not co-managing anything. I can pull up the league. But if you hit up prospect feed, I can keep post all this. God, I gotta get that.
What is that echo? It sounds like you're playing music.
Well, it's just I don't know if it's my mic or your mic or somebody's mic. Niagara Parks. But as far as James' team, okay. Overall, number one pick. Okay, James just sent me the overall draft results. So let me just go through the first round just for shits and grins. Okay. Obviously Vlad.
Vlad was number 1.
Yep. Eloy number 2.
Eloy number 2. All right.
The Tatis.
Tatis was number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
Tatis.
Kyle Tucker, number 4.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Robles, number 5.
Robles should have been higher.
Nah, I mean,
Tucker.
I can't. I mean, when we're talking about this level player, it's very hard to argue.
That is true.
But yeah, Robles probably. You know, but so that was Scotty Bowles. Royce Lewis. Wander Franco.
Wander.
Yeah, Wander was what is that? 7th overall. I'm not very good with math. Bo Bichette 8. Whitley 9.
High for Bichette.
Yeah. And then Senzel 10 overall. And just to round out 62 rounds. Prospects, just, you know, never heard of prospects.
Nick Senso was number what?
Yeah, Vladito number 1. Tatis. Kyle Tucker.
4.
Victor Robles. 5. Royce Lewis from Minnesota. 6. Wander Franco 7. Bo Bichette
8.
Forrest Whitley, Houston pitcher.
Who?
Whitley,
number 9.
Run for pitch. And then Senzel 10.
10, okay.
And of course, big draft. Whoever had 10 also has 11.
So we got
Alex Kirilloff.
Okay, Kirilloff. He's outfielder?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Joe Adell from the Angels.
Adell.
And Keston Hero was the MVP.
Keston Hero. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
You got Nick Madrigal.
Hero is for Milwaukee, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And then White Sox, second base prospect, Nick Madrigal. He's pretty close to the majors.
What's his name?
Madrigal, M-A-D.
No, him I don't know. That's the first name that I don't know.
He was drafted last year.
Okay.
So he's one of those that's like knocking on the door already.
Oh, okay.
Like Jesus Sanchez. There's a lot. All right, there were a couple of Jesus taken. Don't fuck with Jesus. Nobody fuck with Jesus. All right, so Jesus Sanchez next. And then Jesus Luzardo.
Oh, the pitcher, correct?
Yeah, Oakland pitcher, yeah. And then Taylor Trammell. Reds outfielder. Rockies. Who knows what? Brendan Rodgers.
Yo, now let's pause there for a second.
Okay.
Where the hell are they gonna play Brendan Rodgers? He's blocked at third. He's blocked at short. He's blocked at second. That poor fucking guy.
I think his bat just plays wherever he can find it. He's going to play everywhere. That's what he's going to do. I mean, I think Rodgers is one of those super players where, you draft. It's kind of like, I don't have a better example. This isn't a good example. But we drafted Justin Upton as the high school in Arizona.
Whoa, Brandon, I'm not talking about Brandon. This is the 4th year. I've been waiting for Rodgers.
Well, again, he came out of high school, but we'll play. He will play somewhere in the outfield or the infield. It's just going to be like a situational, rotational, best bat play. You know what I mean? Situationally. He's going to be up there.
Maybe they should trade Arenado for some pitching arms and put him on third.
That stadium would crumble apart if they traded Arenado.
I love Arenado. Listen to this. Arenado to the Mets for DeGrom.
I can't argue it. It's on the money. I don't know if contracts are like control involved, like player value.
DeGrom has, I think, 2 years control, and I think Arenado's in his last year.
Okay. I mean, the Mets just. I mean, if Arenado's in his last year, the Mets don't want a 1 year.
They're stupid enough to do it, bro.
But I mean, but the Mets are just. I mean, the Mets are the Mets. It's a disaster.
It's a mess.
All right. So let me round out the second round here.
It's just Brendan Rodgers really upsets me that he's not up.
Well, he will be. He will be. He'll be here. Alex Reyes, pitcher for the Cardinals. Obviously didn't surpass his innings.
I was just going to say that he surpassed his innings.
He's still technically a prospect.
Wow.
And then Cuddy. Ding dong, chimes back in. Oh, I'm going to just double down like power corner.
Okay.
Pete Alonso.
Speaking of the mess.
Yeah. And I love him.
Yo,
I love that one team. Corners. Love it. And then of course, like I'm not going to go through a whole third round, but
who's the next pick? Just curious, who was his next pick after Alonso?
Carter Kieboom.
Oh, he's a catcher for Dodgers.
Shortstop for the Washington.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
His brother, though, I think is a catcher.
I think so. I'm not. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. Prospects for a reason.
Nah.
But just James's team so far, again, these are mainly prospects, not major league players.
Mm-hmm.
These are players most people, again, as further we go, the less you've heard of them.
Yeah. Now, Carter Kieboom, he's going to be blocked forever. Behind Trey.
Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful middle infield combo.
Yeah.
But see, you got to love Vlad, Alonso, Kieboom. But then he got some pitching. He went Dylan Cease, who had just like ridiculous strikeouts for the White Sox.
What's his name?
Dylan Cease. C-E-A-S-E.
Dylan Cease. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He was hurt. I think he had Tommy John a year ago.
Maybe last year. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Dylan Cease for White Sox.
Yeah, but he put up good numbers.
Yeah,
you gotta love him. And then of course, one of the prospects I love, Chris Paddock for the Padres. Khalil Lee, Gavin Lux, Daz Cameron, 80th overall. Julio Pablo Martinez, 81st overall. And then we got Julio Ramos at 100. Right on. I love the pick. And then he got his Adonis. His baby boy.
Let me guess. I forget his name. The pitcher for the fat boy for the Braves.
No, Philly.
Huh?
Philly.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
It's Adonis Medina.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that guy that he loves, the pitcher for the Braves.
Oh, okay. No. He surpassed the 50 innings.
No, he did. Okay. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Big old tub of 100 miles an hour. Yeah. But James does his math, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He knows
guys like dimes across
Who selected Gorman?
I'm not sure who took Gorman. Let me see if I can find that for you. Where Gorman went.
Now that we're talking about
Gorman right after Kaiboom.
Oh, so he could have had Gorman, but he chose Kaboom instead.
Yeah, but given the fact that he had first, third, at that point, like in Gorman's probably a third base. When you've got
Vladdy at third,
Vladito, you are not fucking around with his base. You're fine.
Yeah, I remember seeing this draft now on Twitter, and I remember looking at the rosters, and I remember seeing that the Mesa brothers weren't drafted.
Okay, well, it may depend on the draft. Like I think Weekter is already gone.
No, I don't think they draft. I looked. I don't remember seeing his name.
Well, he's definitely gone. Because James would have taken.
Victor, what a fucked up name.
Weekter. Okay, he went in the third round.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Third round, ninth pick, so 29th over. Weekter Mesa.
He's supposed to be really, really good. I've never seen clips of him, but from what I read, he's going to be really good.
Well, he's the hot Cuban import.
Yeah. And his brother, I guess his brother also signed.
Yeah. But given Miami's lack of options, like if he's got in that bat, he'll play. And Miami, just on the whole, even with probably Jeter's ownership, never had a problem with people young. You know, like we got Miggy, super young. We got super young Jose. People are like, what are you gonna do? Now you get those professional innings before their arms blow out, or they die in a boating accident.
Yeah.
Poor Jose. Rest eternally in peace on the set of my shitty YouTube show.
I remember one of the first times that I found your thing, your show.
Oh yeah.
That I'm like, oh man, that's in poor taste. I don't know if I want to watch this show.
Yeah, it was probably Ryan and I just like fucking with each other about the death of my star pitcher.
then you put the sleeping X's on his eyes. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, here he is. He's still sleeping. He's still sleeping. Sleeping forever in peace.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But yeah, this prospect draft, the way it works is, you know, you're drafting all prospects, mostly not major leaguers, but as you start accumulating stats, it's players who are getting called up to the majors or players, the handful that are already in the majors. And that's how you win the league. So it's like kind of a slow build. And the idea is that, and this is an interesting way to start a dynasty league, by the way. I don't know what you do with the major league players. Excuse me. I think
shit, you just froze. You froze.
And so eventually, like, you just keep using prospects as filler, or you get the right pieces, and then you're just consistently winning year after year after year because you have the most major league talent, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's a point.
Like an interesting format.
It's 10 points for a win, 4 for a home run. I think 4 for a save is what James said. And again, I may not be correct. You can always hit up Prospect Fiend or James Cubby Knoll on Twitter. Just check them out. There's a couple people out there. Sonic's hanging out with us tonight. We got some mad echo. We know that. I'm not sure which of us need headphones, you and me, but probably both. Neither of us are wearing headphones.
Yeah, I don't have headphones.
My sound card's literally fucked to death. I'm going to blow this computer up and get a new one. So I can't use headphones no matter what. But
give me a minute to find some damn headphones.
Okay. So I was going to say, I think I got like a noise canceling thing, but I don't know. But we'll see. We'll give it a pause.
All right. Give me a few.
Okay. So anywho, the way this league works is, you just kind of slowly build your team and it slowly becomes successful. And it's not, even though there is a $25 buy-in, it's not so much about like, oh, I won. It's more about the long haul. I have a little trouble joining first-year dynasties like that, not because I don't trust the managers involved. There's a lot of really good managers in that league. But generally, you don't trust the managers you don't know. And especially a first-year dynasty. In a first-year dynasty, like in a fresh dynasty draft, Ryan and I have said it forever, you always draft to win. You don't draft young. You don't draft deep unless you trust who you're in the league with and you trust the commissioner implicitly to the point where this is going 3, 4, 5 years at least. Otherwise, play to win, take your money and go home. So that's kind of where we're at on dynasties. But this dynasty is going to last a little bit longer, I'm assuming, and it's full of good managers. So hopefully James has a good time. I mean, I don't know how you don't have a good time with Vladito on any team. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., in case you're not aware of who Vladito is. But, it's definitely a different draft, but it's a cool way to start a dynasty. I dig it. I definitely dig that. But yeah, I declined because, I got to get our league set up and I got to carry over a few things. We got to get a bunch of things going. It's fine. It's okay. So I'm living vicariously through Cubby, as we all.
I'm still looking for headphones, but I wish they would have asked me.
Well, there is a 4th draft, I think, forming. You could probably try to get in. I mean, it is a $25 buy-in, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Which, not an issue, but given the fact that it's a first-year dynasty and you maybe don't entirely know how long it's going to be good or how long it's going to hold together. I mean, I almost think I agree with James. Well, I know I agree with James in the fact that they should try some mock drafts. Like, Prospect Fiend should do a mock draft where it's just like same setup, but it doesn't, we're not paying money and it doesn't count. We're just like, okay, what prospects should I get here? And it's more a way to educate you. All right, let's pretend you're not fantasy baseball guy or you're barely fantasy baseball guy. You just kind of want to learn. Like, if you look at some of these experts in these industry guys and like their depth of knowledge as far as players that most people have never even heard of, that's only going to improve your game. So try something different, try something new, try something intimidating. I think that's my advice here, and just pay attention to it because again, as much as I feel like most of us know prospect, I mean, JD Balla, JD, our good buddy JD, he's one of the best prospect minds we know just in terms of like general knowledge of names. But there's these other guys that know the names plus the he was at this hotel the other night. And, you know what I mean? Like we know these people that have this like take JD's name, pull it out of the sky and like, yeah, I saw him at the Hilton. With a Hilton. It was weird. You know what I mean? Like, they can give you that in-depth knowledge that you maybe didn't have before. And so you're like filing it away. You're like, okay, tuck that one back. I'm not drafting him this year. Maybe I'll save his name for a sleeper pick next year kind of thing. You know, but it's good to pay attention to if you play fantasy baseball. Now, you know, one last topic. I mean, I think we kind of covered our topics out of order. Again, thank you for joining me, Jose, and Cubby, who's no longer here. But you got the Coors Light party can or the party? Yeah, baby. Oh, I love those. Oh, I love those. God, I love that. You know, and again, I'm like, right? You just put the top back on so you don't spill it. I love that. I'm like so in love with that. Oh, wait, I don't have my Coors signs up yet. Damn it. But yeah, Coors is my brand, obviously. But no, like Ice Cube's right. Don't spill it on the mixing console. Put the top back on. Hello, here's a coaster. Use your manners in the recording studio. I love those things.
I gotta drink light beer now because I got the D. Fucking diabetes.
I was gonna say we're counting calories. It's Sunday night. We're all counting calories, right? Like it's all right.
Yeah. But I'm the only old guy.
Well, we're all the old guys except for Bronny at this point. But
yeah, Bronny. Yeah.
Bronny looks like he's older than he looks like. I mean, he's Gimli from The Lord of the Rings. He's like that dwarf guy with the axe and the huge beard. He's like drinking and smoking and eating. And he's Gimli with a battle axe
and skipping classes.
Yeah, skipping classes. He doesn't even do that anymore. To his credit, like that kid goes to school. Like of all the times to be skipping school, it's your senior year of high school. No, I'm going to school. Oh, I gotta go to class, man. What are you suddenly trying to win a fucking college scholarship here, kid? Big ups if you are. I mean, we love that. But
he's in Florida too, right?
Yeah, you guys like. All right, so half of our managers, almost everybody, is Florida. The rest, except for the few of us that are in Arizona, one or two of us that's maybe California area. Everybody's East Coast, like Northeast, Florida, 2 pockets of Arizona, and like a sporadic occasional West Coast appearance. But like everybody else, the bulk of all the people we play with are on the East Coast, like freezing their fucking nuts off right now. Like, and J Money, we haven't heard from him in ages because he's like still in a snowplow. Like, I hate this. Like, he's been in the snowplow for 48 straight fucking hours. Like, can't wait to get home just to take a pee and eat some fucking warm soup or something. And like, oh, I gotta set my lineups. Goddamn this fucking snow. And then immediately race back out the door to plow more snow.
Meanwhile, James and I out here plowing fucking sunshine.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, hey, it's not like Ryan and I complain in the sunshine. Now we do complain in the sunshine in the summer in Arizona, but in the winter, Florida and Arizona ain't so bad, are they? That's why they play fall league, and that's why they do spring training in Florida and Arizona. When we got, you can't complain, but yeah, like everybody else who's freezing to death in the Northeast. I hope you had a good holiday weekend and didn't fucking die in the ice or the snow or any of that cold. But
so where is he? Like in North Dakota?
Who's this?
You were saying who's plowing the snow?
Oh, Justin J Money.
J Money.
J Money's in Massachusetts, I believe, a town.
Oh, Massachusetts.
What did he tell me? I think it's like 40 miles north of Boston. I don't know. Somewhere roughly Massachusetts area around Boston-y kind of area, and there's a town of like 30,000 people or something, and he drives a snowplow, and it's just sad most of the time of the year where he's just like, here I am in the snowplow. And he's rocking his FSAA shirt like
plow. I'm a plow king.
I was gonna say, and occasionally the mayor's like, I'll give you a break, son. Like he's told me, like everybody in this town has to take a turn driving. Like that's all the town. They just got to keep the roads open, Like everybody's like, well, I guess if
they have to keep the escape route. They have to keep this
right. Yeah, they don't want to get snowed in. Like everybody, One road out. We're going. But yeah, so I mean, a little pause. We didn't talk about it, but happy holidays and the holiday, happy Thanksgiving for everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it and got a good time. Jose, did you have a good time with your family?
I had to work. I had to go work eventually, but
did you get anything good when you got home? I mean, was there like leftovers or just it's just Thanksgiving. It's only Thanksgiving. Yeah. Mine was fine. It was terrible the way it always is, but whatever. It's the holidays. What are you gonna do? They say alcoholism is a 3-stage disease: Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year.
3-stage, okay.
Actually, that comes James. If you're still listening, which he's not, that is a Stuart Smalley. Stuart Saves His Family Saturday Night Live reference. They say alcoholism is a 3-stage disease: Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. And do you remember Stuart Smalley? Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like
the guy with the curly hair.
Yeah, Al Franken, senator from Minnesota, I think, former senator who was accused of sexual harassment for like goofing around being himself. I don't know. Whoever actually felt like that guy Al Franken was sexually harassing them either has like the biggest fear of the world ever, and like everyone is terrifying, or like just wants to make money. Like if Al Franken genuinely terrified you in a sexual manner or any kind of manner, physically or otherwise, this is Al fucking Franken. Stuart Smalley. He wears knitted sweaters and complains about his family's alcoholism and stuff. Like this is Stuart Smalley. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think he harassed you. But yeah, that aside, one last bit of harassment. We'll round out on this. Let's talk about Dwight Howard.
And as you say that, I'm looking for a basketball game.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if there's any hoops on. I mean, again, it's Pack and it's Vikings tonight on NBC. You got your Sunday night football. We haven't really talked about that. I don't really give a shit about the matchup. What is this? Lego Jurassic World on NBC. What is this? I played this game with my son. What is this? A secret exhibit in Legos. Holy shit! My kid needs to watch that.
What time is the football game? 8:30, right? So I can watch basketball.
Yeah. Game hasn't started just yet. It's about to start. So we're looking at about 6:15 my time, West Coast.
Your time. Okay.
Yeah, 8:15 East Coast. So in about.
So you're considered West Coast in Arizona.
Well, actually, we're not, because California is on a different time zone than we are now. So they're earlier.
Oh, okay.
California, I think it's 5:15 right now. It's about 6:15 Phoenix time. I mean, I just call it West Coast, but Arizona just never changes. We're too fucking look, dude, we got cowboys and Indians and dust, and we don't have fucking time to dick around with clocks. Yeah, we were like one of the last states ever entered into the Union because we were just too fucking stubborn. Like, we're not gonna change our clocks. Get the fuck out of here. That's Arizona. Yeah, we don't care when the sun comes up or goes down. We got cattle to ranch, citrus to harvest, cotton to harvest, right? Copper to mine. And we got this climate to enjoy. We're good. We don't need to change a clock for our climate. 5 C's of Arizona, baby. Just gave you a history lesson in Arizona. But Dwight Howard. Let's just say this. The whole situation with Dwight Howard is comedic. Yes, we've all laughed. We've all been like, what? What happened with Dwight? All right, so Dwight Howard, there was like a situation with a former lover where the lover was, talking out. And apparently Dwight Howard is outed as gay or bi or some sort of trans fan. There's been a lot of transphobic jokes and homophobic jokes, of which I have shared some pleasure, I will guiltily admit. But it's not about that. I mean, again, you know, it's funny to say, like, okay, on NBA 2K19, they should up his ball handling skills. Never knew he was such a good ball handler. Ha ha ha. Okay, you know, he's stroking dudes off and whatever. You know, oh, why isn't he shooting his free throws underhanded? Ha ha ha. You know, like, I mean, yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but the NBA could only provide such a shit show ripe for parody and ripe for just, I mean, this is the NBA where every minor storyline or every minor rumor becomes like sensational tabloid news. And it's sad to think about, and you compare it to this, like, if Dwight Howard had just come out at the absolute peak of his fame, you think about what it could have done for, you know, maybe the trans community or homosexuals just who are afraid to come out. And I, you know, like, again, I don't think most of us are truly homophobic where it's like, oh my God, they're just going to rape me as I stand here. Like, if that was happening, we'd be afraid, but it's not happening and we're not afraid. So, you know, but it becomes this joke and this running story or dialogue and joke. But like, if he was just like proud and out and loud, like, nobody would give a shit. Like, if you spoke up against that right now, other than joking on Twitter and like, oh, Dwight Howard jokes are popular right now. Like, if he had just been straightforward about his lifestyle, and we don't even know for fact that this is his lifestyle. These are allegations. You can't just and who cares if it's true? It doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's just a running storyline that becomes
he could be just a part-timer.
Well, yeah, and again, does that matter? No. What does it have to do with his basketball? The only thing I pay attention to Dwight Howard for is playing basketball. And if he were outspoken as, like, you know, an advocate for gay rights or something, I might pay attention to that specifically for certain reasons or something. But again, he was one of the NBA's best big men for so long. Just the blocks, the rebounds, like, yeah. He had that superstar persona. There was like, when, you know, when's he going to get his max contract and all the dunk contest? Like, if he just said something at that point in time, basically, the whole world would have been like, but we never would have looked back. It never would have gone beyond, huh? And even, it's more just like, oh, well, all right. Okay. Like, there's no problem. And so, as much as it's fun to poke fun and laugh, I mean, it really the juxtaposition of, had he been forward and said, you know, I'm a homosexual person or a bisexual person, I dabble with transgender people, you know, I just want my platform to be heard while I have the highest platform in the world. You know, I don't care if you don't adhere to this lifestyle yourself. I don't care if you accept my lifestyle. This is my lifestyle, whether you like it or not. I'm loud, I'm proud, whatever. Even if you wanted to, nobody would speak up against this person in this day and age because you can't. And that's not to say that you could have or should have back then, but like, it's such a like non-issue, and it is a comical farce. Like, I enjoyed sharing jokes back and forth with Ryan about it last night, but ultimately what you have is probably somebody who is, you know, I mean, when you think about it, you have to hide your identity. You can't be your true self. I don't care what your true self is. When you have to hide that and feel ashamed of it, and maybe it costs you job opportunities. You think about how he's been bounced from locker room to locker room to locker room. We've thought, oh, here's a guy that's a bad teammate or something, or just, you know, I should be the star and nobody else should be, you know, whatever else we've labeled Deho as. And maybe it turns out that he's had these other issues that the teammates know about, but they're so locker room culture oriented. And Ryan and I have gone back and forth about the locker room and what you don't do and what you can't do in bro code. Like, we throw it back to D'Angelo Russell, where Russell outed, I think
he recorded shit. Yeah,
I forget who it was. Swaggy, Nick Young. Like, he was talking, he like outed Nick Young for cheating on his girlfriend or something like that. I don't think there is a bro code, and fuck the bro code, because, like, again, if you're like really a teammate and the person around you either helps you become better or you make them better, or you're just better as a cohesive unit, or you even care about the fucking person whose locker is next to yours, like, things that don't affect you really, as long as it doesn't enter the field of play or the court, step onto the court, it doesn't matter, but the NBA is just so ripe with these stories. Like, it's just, Delonte West, he bangs LeBron's mom. LeBron shuts down, leaves Cleveland, like all this stuff, like all these Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenden and the gambling incident over $1,100 on the team plane, where Gilbert Arenas has got 4 guns in his locker and he's like, hey, let's duel. He's joking around. Like, he thinks he's being tough guy or some shit. And Crittenden's like, I'm not fucking around. 2 years later, that motherfucker's in federal fucking prison. This was like 2009. Crittenden's in prison in 2011, I think. Armed something or other, like, gang activity. I don't know. But like, the NBA just seems to have this, because it's a star-oriented league. So I just think, like, we all let's enjoy the jokes. Like, D-Ho, his free throw percentage is so bad. Why isn't he shooting underhand? And, he likes the train. He's funny, haha. But really, like, ultimately, his lifestyle does not affect his caliber of play, should not affect his caliber of play. If it does,
the thing is, he's probably not the only one. He's just the only one who off a lover and he got dimed out. Like I keep saying, Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
something about him.
Well, but it's a shame though that in especially today's let's be honest, like, today is a very politically correct climate. Like, right now, you go out and you drop hard R's. You say, "Oh, don't be a fag. You're in trouble. Don't be a retard. You're in trouble." Certainly, you're not dropping N-words. Like, in today's climate, you would think somebody could say, look, I know this isn't maybe, like, it's not what everybody's expecting. I know this isn't maybe the most comfortable locker room topic, but this is who I am. I'm not going to hide it. And I don't really give a shit what anybody else thinks about it.
Well, right now, it seems more offensive. The R word is more offensive, and the F word is more offensive than the C word.
Well, I mean, everybody loves to say cunt. I don't have a problem with any words personally, but I think if you're going to use them, you better be able to back it up. That's all. But just as, like, socially, if he were vocal about his preferences, or even if he wasn't, even if it was just kind of like a known unknown, like not talked about, but everybody kind of knew, this is Dwight Howard's lifestyle. He's got, like, this is what he chooses. You wouldn't say anything. Like, you couldn't say anything. First of all, it would be very, I mean, you might, but people would be like, you dick. He's a good guy. Like, he plays, like, I mean, you would just be offended on his behalf almost, to the point where, like, nobody would speak up about it. But we're all just like, that explains it. It's Dwight Howard. Like, Dwight Howard. I mean, so I kind of feel bad. Like, as much as, like, it's funny to joke, like, I think there was a lot of joking going on last night when we first heard this story. But, and as you said, it's not just like one guy in the league, in one sports league. That there are people out there suffering that can't be them true selves because they're afraid, because of the locker room. And I'm sorry, this fucking locker room nonsense, I get locker room talk. I'm all about locker room talk. But if your locker room talk can't be accepting or at least okay with, then that's like a little bit of like, maybe you're a little insecure yourself. And I'm not saying insecure to the point where you're crossing line. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, maybe you're homophobic because you're gay. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is like, maybe just your insecurity about this illustrates more of a lack of information or a lack of context. So I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to soapbox about D-Ho here, but I just think that's got to be difficult where you've got your entire public life just splashed all over Twitter. And you're like, I was just trying to keep it quiet because like, I can't even stay on the same team for more than 2 years or whatever. I just want a job and do my job and get paid. And then when it's over, I can be an advocate, whatever, but this, Dwight Howard can't even do that because he's got just some fucking bitter ex somebody just. So
yeah, that's not fair to him.
No, it really isn't. I mean, he should be able to be the guy that says, this is who I am. This is what I've done. And it's up to him. I mean, nobody fucking asks me who I'm fucking. Nobody gives a shit who I'm fucking. They don't care if I'm not fucking. Or I am. Like, nobody gives a shit. We don't ask. We don't think. We don't care. We don't even want to know. But, like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, Dwight Howard. Oh, because he's got those prolific shoulders, and we've all heard his name. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. So it's fun to laugh, and it's fun to have those jokes. But at the same time, I mean, there's a human being on the other end attached to that. And I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. To me, it makes me sad. Just that, like, somebody can't control their own information flow. They can't control their own destiny. And
somebody off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, like somebody probably wanted, it's, for lack of a better example, it's like a jilted ex-girlfriend. She was hoping to get the ring and she came out second. She didn't get the ring. So now she's going to, well, he had a limp dick in the bedroom or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that jilted ex-lover sort of thing where it's just like, well, you broke my heart, so I'm going to ruin you. You've probably all been there.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. But enough of that soapbox. Hopefully, we got the zebras that can't make an actual call here properly. All right. So hopefully people can watch Vikings.
I can't get that game yet. I'm trying to.
Oh, it's on. It's on now. It started. We're like a couple minutes in. But I mean, we got nobody watching the Hangout, nobody hanging out with us. It's probably good to cut it off. I mean, I feel like we covered enough. We covered some fantasy football. We covered Fantracks. We covered preview of baseball. The baseball FSAA leagues are open. Well, not open, but they're ready. They will be open. Everything's on Fantracks from here on out. If you got comments about Fantracks, let me know. Leave them in the comments down below. I got to pass them on. It's my obligation because they look out for us, so we're looking out for them.
Correct.
And again, when somebody treats you right, you treat them right. Even if it's like harsh criticism, sometimes you need it. And, you try to address it and accept it. And I think that's why they said the Addicts are right. I mean, we're critical. We're not exactly nice about what we say. Right, Jose? I don't think we've pulled any punches.
We know what we want.
Yes, exactly. We know what we want. We know what we do. We know who we're playing against. I mean, if anybody's seen my last few videos, it's just a bunch of me yelling and being angry. So,
hey, who does Howard play for nowadays? Anyway,
D-Ho. Fuck, I don't even know. Actually, to be honest, that's how many teams he's been bounced from. Like, I'm literally barely paying attention to fantasy basketball. I'm like setting my lineups, and that's about it. And I feel bad to admit that, but like, I'm not.
I've learned since baseball's not playing to do baseball, to do basketball and football, do it all on Sunday. So on Sunday I do
Just
all my leagues.
Yeah.
It takes me a good 40 fucking minutes.
Well, yeah, you just set everything ahead of time.
For the week. I do the lineups for the whole fucking week.
So he is with the Wizards currently.
Yeah,
and I should have known that. But yeah, so I mean,
that's news to me. I didn't know who the fuck where he was at.
Okay, no, but he's been bounced around from team to team now. Like, all right, so the bulk of his career obviously is Orlando. Right? He had the 1 year with the Lakers, couple years in Houston, Atlanta, and Charlotte. But like, there's always this sort of perception that maybe, is it star issues? Like, I'm not the main person, I'm not the star. There's a lot of, but again, to have that be what dogs you when it's really something else, it's just like, and again, like, all right, so you have an actual penis, right? You're a male person. You identify as a cisgender. I believe I'm using the correct terminology here. I believe I'm the cisgender male as well. You have a penis. Wow. So another guy with a penis likes either penises that have been turned into vaginas or vaginas that have been turned into penis. Does that actually threaten your penis? And even if he likes penis, why do you assume he likes your penis? Can we think about that? Like, that's not really fair, like, to the guy. I mean, or the girl who is in opposite circumstances. I mean, I think that's just, I don't know. I mean, if that's what Dwight Howard's career has been reduced to, and now he's just going to like wash out in sadness and like just rumors and innuendo, and I don't know. I hope that isn't what happens. And if anything, if these rumors are true, I hope maybe he can do something positive for other people that are in his circumstances and say, you know what, look, all right, yeah, the way it came out was funny, like, yeah, NBA. But my lifestyle isn't a joke to me. My choices in life, other people's choices, other people's struggles aren't a joke. Mm-hmm. And here's the real truth of it. Like, I mean, if you can turn it into something positive and become, again, more of a role model through that, like, I would love that. I embrace that. Like, I want to see that. And if it's false information, it's just like, why is this happening where we just, I don't care if you're talking about Al Franken's sex rumors or Brett Kavanaugh's sex rumors or Dwight Howard's sex rumors. We live in a society where you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. And this isn't a guilt or innocence concept here. This is just like, let's let them have their word before we pass judgment upon them. Wouldn't you want the same in any circumstance? I feel very intellectual having said that. I don't know why, but I feel like dumb guy made smart talk. I don't know. I make smart talk. Ah, shit. Well, it was a good Sunday night hangout, Jose. I had a good time hanging out with you. Cubby did a great intro. The one thing, you know what I want for Christmas besides my 2 front teeth? A new website. That's what I want for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I want a website where we can all just come back to Fantasy Jesus. Where Fantasy Jesus says, welcome back, brothers and sisters. And we're all back on the website chatting. And Triss is censored with 4 stars again. And we all just hang out. And we're all just, what game are you watching, baby? That's what I want. I want a website again. So I'm either going to treat myself to that, pay for somebody to do it, or figure it out. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. That's what I want, and I don't know if I can roll it out by the new year, but that's my Christmas wish. Is a better and new website where everybody's like, you know, the Welcome Back Cotter fucking theme song plays. Welcome back. you know what I mean? Like you show up and it's like, oh, we remember you. We saw your IP address 5 years ago. Welcome back. I don't know. I'd love it. I'd love that. But we'll see. We're gonna make it. You know, every plan you got to put into action and just baby step it. It's fine. We had a fun hangout. It was fun hanging out with you, Jose. I had a good chat. I appreciate you joining me tonight.
I'm trying to find the damn football game.
It's on NBC, dude. Like I don't know what NBC is where you live. I don't know what channel it is, but
I have a weird cable. Oh, okay. I found it.
There you go. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say should be there. I mean, sometimes you know you always get those weird like satellite providers or whatever. Local channels not included. You know, you always get some fucking shenanigans when. Now, all right, I want to throw something out there. Like, all right, I made a video about depression and anxiety.
The who?
Recently, and it was very hot and steamy. Yeah, you thought it was funny as fuck, and it is funny as fuck.
Which one? Wait.
Well, there was the angry D-backs fan, and then there was the one before that where it was like, you got 3 options. This was Tom's 3 options.
Oh, yeah. I saw that one. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I went off because I've been hearing about it so much, and it wasn't pointed at anybody. It wasn't malicious. If anything, it was malicious and pointed at myself because, you know, James and I, like, a lot of people don't know this about Cubby and I. Like, Cubby holds me accountable. Like, he and I talk almost every day, or at least just about every day. And, you know, if I'm fucking up, he's like, dude, you're fucking up. And he won't get, like, I don't, but you're, like, he won't let me make excuses for myself. He holds me accountable. Like, if you fucked up, you fucked up, and you say you fucked up. And what are you going to do going forward that isn't that you keep fucking up? And if you're just going to keep fucking up, don't expect a sympathetic ear. So we've kind of developed this idea, like Tom's 3 principles. Like, you know, what do I really need in life? You know, like, what am I really going to do here? You know, I could be depressed and sad. Like, oh, my health is poor. And
nothing good comes out of that.
Well, but nothing bad. I mean, I don't even know if killing myself is all that bad. Like, I don't know, you know, but I mean, so that's an option, and I'm never going to deprive some. If it's your time out and you know it is, that's your right. Like, it's sad, everybody gets hurt, and it's selfish essentially, but you would know if it was your time to get out. Okay, like, and I respect that. That's a choice. As much as you have a right to life, you have a right to death. So
the reason why people shouldn't opt themselves is not because people are going to be sad because you're gone, but if you're gone, you're going to make someone fucking happy. So that would piss me off that someone's fucking happy because I'm fucking gone.
Yeah, yes. Like, oh, that fucker killed himself? What a bitch. Yeah, oh, I hadn't thought of that, dude. All right, yeah, don't let the fucking bastards grind you down. And that's kind of my philosophy. You know, like, so either, all right, so, okay, that's not my option. I'm not offing myself. Okay, I can just keep doing what I'm doing where I'm kind of like, well, sort of bummed out and shit sucks. My life sucks. Not very healthy. All right, life is what it is. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And, you know, I really shouldn't expect much sympathy from other people. Like, I'm not going to talk about it. Like, it's, you know, this is my choice, you know, like, but I can complain a little bit, but people aren't going to be like, oh, well, congratulations on not making lifestyle improvements, you know? Or you're like super proactive guy like Ryan doing his P90X. And like, you know, we've joked about Ryan doing his shit. But like if Ryan's happy and Ryan feels like his life has improved, all the better for him. Like I have no ill will about that. Like, I mean, we joked about it. I crapped on it, like all that stuff. But honestly, like, if you're not doing something to improve yourself or empower yourself, like, don't complain about not doing something. and don't expect sympathy for not trying to change it. So when I've said this stuff, like, I feel like maybe it was a little personal to some people. It was mostly personal to me because this is a reminder I need a lot. Like, I can just sit here on my FSAA set, like, look at me. This is the best I'm ever going to do, when I've been on radio shows that had more listeners in even the same fucking town that I live in. You know, like, or maybe let me get my health right. Let me get my shit right up here. Put down the fucking bottle of whiskey. Get out there and fucking make some fucking moves, you know, hustle. And maybe I can't do that, but accept it, live with it with grace. Accept it and have some dignity. You know, don't be George Costanza where you have no dignity. And, like, I don't feel like I have a lot of dignity, and, you know, so maybe I'm not going to complain that much. You got to remember, maybe if you're okay with, well, this is just the best. Have you ever wondered, like, what's that line from, God damn it, it's Jack Nicholson. What the fuck is the name of that movie? As good as it's going to get. Have you ever wondered, this is ever as good as it's going to get? Like, you know, like Greg Kinnear's the gay guy that's like trying to, like, have you ever wondered? But, like, I mean, no, I mean, that line holds true. Have you ever wondered? Maybe this is as good as it's going to get. But maybe you have to accept that and be okay with it. And that's okay. Because, you know what? From within those confines and within that context, you go about your business. So if anybody saw those videos and felt like maybe I was being too harsh or too critical, or it was personal or anything like that, it wasn't. It wasn't anything like that. I was mouthing off. We know what I do on YouTube is partially my viewpoints, but it's more tongue-in-cheek character than anything else. So when it goes over the top, it's for effect. And that video was definitely over the top. I think I counted at least, God, how many F-bombs? Like 40-something F-bombs in like 16 or 18. There were a lot of F-bombs.
You had them flowing. You had them
it was like every other fucking word, you know? I was like, fuck, then this fucking happened, and fuck this.
It was a little above PG-13.
Yeah, it was, you know, and so was the Diamondbacks one where I was like threatening to burn the stadium and shit. But
that was harsh.
Well, I decided
when you said take that Horace Wagner card and stick it up your kid's ass.
Up your ass side. Your
kid's ass. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh, I said it's kid's ass? Oh damn.
Yes.
Well, I was angry.
Yeah. When you said the dudes, but when you said the kid, I'm like, oh,
this kid, my kid.
Yeah, you showed us that.
Has to wear this uniform just to play shitty t-ball and baseball. Oh, the Diamondbacks here. Oh, I love the Diamondbacks. I'm a Diamondbacks. What do you mean they're trading Paul Goldschmidt? No! You know what I mean? Like, and you've got to explain that to a kid who doesn't understand economics of baseball.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, they kind of mismanaged, and they've run through a series of general managers who've pissed away everything that would have been good. And you know what I mean?
I remember the year Goldschmidt, he was a nobody. He had like 8 stolen bases. And I looked at the stat, like 8 stolen bases for a first baseman. I'm like, I'm going to draft this fucker the next year. And I drafted him. That's when he blew the fuck up.
Stud. Yeah. No, his first half season, statistically, back of the card stats, sucked. But the 8 stolen base, you're like, whoa. I mean, there were some home runs. There were, but the average and the strikeouts.
That's why I got him the next year. Because
and then he blows up, and he's like America's first baseman. Yeah,
and then I looked like a fucking genius. Like, how the fuck did you know? The only reason I did it was because he had 8 strikeouts for a first baseman.
Yeah. You know what? And all right, here's me. That same year, I've got to make that decision about Dynasty, my Dynasty roster going forward. The clone teams we always talk about in the home leagues.
I
had Rizzo and Goldie. Rizzo's 2 years younger. Goldie's the hometown talent. I'm not going to be a homer. Turn the hat around. No, I'm not a D-backs fan. I'm going to keep Rizzo because, like, you know, he's on the Cubs, and the Cubs are up and coming, and he's got more power. He's more of a high-profile prospect. So I kept Rizzo over Goldie. I think pretty much anybody who plays fantasy baseball would prefer Goldie over Rizzo. As much as I love Rizzo, nobody dislikes Rizzo, but he's very streaky. Goldie's somewhat streaky. But
I can top that. So that year I got Goldie, and I thought I hit a home run with Goldie at first base. So the next year, I'm trying to fucking see if I can hit pay dirt again. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this year is Rizzo's year to blow up. So I didn't take Rizzo.
Oh,
guess who I fucking thought was going to be the next thing over Rizzo? Hosmer.
Oh, the Hos.
I ate fucking shit on Hosmer.
Yeah. Hos, a lot of those Kansas City prospects, I mean, like they've turned into pretty good players, but none of them.
I still love Hosmer. I still love Moustakas, but god damn, I should have picked fucking Rizzo over Hosmer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but again, that's the thing about, prospects. It is an eye test. Like,
I hit a home run with Goldie. Hit a home run with Goldie, then I ate shit with fucking Hosmer.
Hey, as long as your hit percentage is at least 50%, I think you're doing pretty good. I feel like I'm doing good if I'm at least half right most of the time. You know what I mean? He's half right most of the time. That's my and then what's a percentage of half right most of the time?
And then with Hosmer, I was like, okay, that means next year is when he's gonna come. I've been fucking waiting on him to come. And you know who's the same way with me with Hosmer? Fucking Buxton.
Yeah, Buxton's trouble. Because the pedigree's there, you expect it.
Yes.
You're expecting it, you're waiting for it, but it's like, and again, that's the one thing that we always forget. As much as we love these top prospect lists and like, oh, he's a top such and such, all that indicates is that this player is likely to be a major league talent in some capacity. Mm-hmm. Not he's going to be a superstar. Even like, you think about all the number 1 overall picks, like Mark Appel.
A lot of them don't pan out.
So many don't. There's more that don't pan out than do. And they're top prospects. Like, not just like, oh, he's a top 100, top 10. That just like nothing.
Appel is one of them. Bauer was one. Wasn't Bauer a great prospect? And then you guys gave up on him?
Well, I gave up. Yeah, I gave up on Bauer. The D-backs.
Arizona. I meant Arizona.
Arizona shit the bed on him. Arizona shit the bed on Scherzer. But
they had Scherzer. I didn't know they had Scherzer.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember Scherzer the day we got. Whew. You brought up some bad and dark memories.
I'm sorry.
Scherzer. And then like a couple years later, we had 2 picks in the first round. We had Bauer and we had Bradley. Traded Bauer, even though he was like major league ready as a pitcher.
They said he was a troublesome, like he was an asshole.
He didn't get along with our catcher Miguel Montero at the time.
Is that what it was?
That's part of it. Also, he's just difficult to manage because he's like, he doesn't need a manager to tell him how to pitch. He doesn't need a manager to tell him how to prep for the game. He is a very, very smart person. Like Trevor Bauer, I forget like what his IQ is, but it's like off the charts. His parents are both engineers. He was an engineering major at UCLA.
Really?
All right. So he and Garrett Cole were 1A and 1B starters for UCLA when they were both before they were drafted.
Garrett Cole. Oh, okay.
So Garrett Cole was the Friday night starter and Bauer is the Saturday night starter. Okay. And Garrett Cole was just pure stuff guy, never put a lot of thought into his game. He told Bauer, you're never going to amount to anything in professional baseball. Who had the better season first? Garrett Cole had flashes. He had...
Yeah.
But look at him now. They're both the same age.
And Bauer's better. My opinion.
I mean, well, Cole, I think, is in a better situation, but
He's a better team.
But they're both very good players. Like, if Cole's a 1, Bauer at worst is a 1B. You know, there's 1A and 1B, and that's right where they are. But the thing about Bauer is he's a thinking man's pitcher. He's putting his knowledge of body kinetics, you know, physical energy into his training regimens. He's, you know, focused on like spin rates and the mechanics of pitching a baseball. Whereas I think Garrett Cole just goes out there and he's just throwing a baseball, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But Bauer is like, okay, I've got a talent, but how can I maximize it? How can I lengthen my career? Like, and he is an asshole. He is a very, very bristly person. If you've ever seen Trevor Bauer's Twitter account or just spoken with him or anything like this, and that's why, you know, again, the Diamondbacks probably got rid of him. But he doesn't want to listen to people. He doesn't need to listen to people. He's going to run his own program. It took him a couple of years. Probably, I guess, last year was his major breakout at 28 or 27. But
okay, is he that old? 27.
He's you know, he's up there. But again, you think about, you know, Scherzer was around, I don't know, a couple of years before he really, really hit it and finally found his stride. Scherzer was 27 before he was a full-blown ace. And now you look at Scherzer, and he's had, like, I don't know, 10 seasons in a row of, like, 200 plus, 300 strikeout. You know, I mean, like, you look at his numbers, I mean, but it took him 3, 4, 5 years to get there. And so when you think about a team like the Diamondbacks, where they don't have much luxury other than the fact that they control these players and they just piss them into the fucking wind, well, you bet I'm making angry videos about trading away Goldie and pissing talent into the wind for my kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Diamondbacks, I mean, they don't get enough credit for as poorly run as they are. They are the worst run team in baseball. Don't get me wrong.
But they're making money. Arizona, I think, leads the world in fucking jerseys, bro. They have a brand new jersey that they're selling every other day.
Yeah, well, but that's just a cash grab. I mean, this is Arizona. It's the most transient market there is. I mean, we are the most transient media market in all of. All right, like, look at this. Phoenix is, I believe, the 6th largest city in the United States. We have the 15th largest media market, I think, per cap. Like, because not everybody who lives here is from here. Not everybody who's from here pays attention, or not everybody who is currently here pays attention to what goes on here. So, like, and the other thing is we have just this plethora of options in Arizona. It's kind of like Florida, you know, in the same way, where, like, you know, I could go to the basketball game, I could go to the hockey game, I could go to the concerts, I could go watch golf, you know, I could go up to the mountains for the weekend, I could jerk off looking at porn on my television. Like, everything in Arizona is just an option that tells you you don't have to do this, and it's not a destination viewing point. So, like, the Diamondbacks, in order to turn a profit through league revenue sharing and the television contract, literally don't have to sell one single season ticket. They could have an entirely empty stadium all year, and that owner still makes money.
Arizona has some of the coolest fucking jerseys, bro.
I like them. I appreciate it.
And there's a variety of really cool jerseys.
Well, they've got the old, the new, and then the weird mishmash in the middle that, like, a lot of people don't like, but I love.
I think they have a lot of cool. I mean, I would get an Arizona jersey just because of Goldie. But if he's gone, fuck with that bullshit.
Well, you know, and you know they'll piss it away, whatever they get for him, you know, like. So that was my whole point with that video. And now I still want that gray jersey, man. That gray and teal road jersey. The gray and red's cool, but the gray and teal, there's something that's like if you put a duster on wearing that, it'd be you're like some bad cowboy guy.
I'm trying to think which one you're talking about.
It's just dark gray, and then, like, it's got the, you know, the teal.
Is that the one that has the burgundy? That's burgundy right there. The one with the burgundy.
Well, we got teal, burgundy. So it's a combination of all the colors technically, except it's on a dark gray jersey. And
I
it's
think
just
I-
like,
I
it's
think I like
mean,
that
dude.
one.
It
I
just
think I
looks
like that
mean.
one.
And a lot of people hate it. Like, I forget, like, the first time they ever played in it, they were in Dodger Stadium. And Rob Lowe had something to say about it. And I was just like, fuck you, Rob Lowe. Fuck you. You're fucking Rob Lowe. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Like, that's an insult. Fuck you. You're Rob Lowe. Oh, man. Yeah, but anyways, like, no, I do like the D-backs jerseys. I mean, like, we've had some good, even the old classic colors. Like, I mean, what's wrong with purple and teal and copper? How many teams have actual copper embroidered into their hats?
That is pretty cool. I like the ones that have gray and the ones that have burgundy. I think they're sharp.
Yeah, those are the road alternate A. There's road alternate A and road alternate B. B's the one I like, but A's good too. And again, it's just like a mishmash of all the colors. So, it is kind of cool in that they're pretty progressive with their uniforms. But again, all of it's just a cash grab for the owner. So, like, I would, I'd take a jersey for free, but let me tell you this, I ain't dropping $425 out of my own fucking pocket. Now, I've been given several jerseys by the Diamondbacks, actually given like pro uniforms. Like, this is what we put on our players.
That's awesome.
And and again, that's why I singled out the team president, who's not an asshole. He's the only one that like is not a dick in that front office, or at least a clueless dick. I mean, maybe he's an asshole in his own time, but he seems like a very caring family man and a guy that has a big heart and cares about his community and everything else like that. And he does what's right by the fans. But the ownership, though, I mean, to put the burden of that shitty ownership onto this guy who's like, man, I got prostate cancer. My life's falling apart. Like, why do I have to be your shit shield? You know what I mean? Like, the poor guy's just got to like deflect nonsense. So, I don't know, but I don't know. We'll get on this. I'm excited though. Now that we've talked a little prospects, we've talked some baseball. I just want to remind everybody, baseball is coming up. I hope you all have very good luck with your fantasy football playoffs, which are coming up. Ours apparently are a few weeks away now. I didn't know that, but we'll get them, and hopefully you win them, Jose. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. And the thing is, when we drafted, remember that night I had 2 fucking drafts in at the same time. So my brain was freaking fried from drafting here and drafting there.
That happens.
I actually did good over here and half decent on the other one.
Okay, well, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad you showed up for my league. I'm glad about that. That makes me happy that you did well in my league.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing.
But I wasn't as
still got hoops going on. If you're playing, I mean, again, like our hoops leagues are a little quiet. I'd like to hear them warm up a little bit. Like, I think it's just natural for basketball though, where basketball, as much as it starts in October, the season doesn't really start until Christmas Day. Like football's over. It's like the playoffs, like, but now we can pay attention to basketball for a couple of months. Oh, but for the real hardcore fantasy nerds, now baseball starts, So baseball
the winter meetings.
Yeah, that's when we're opening up all the dynasty leagues, the head-to-head leagues, the roto and the roto and the head-to-head, the redraft leagues. Those are going to be a little bit later. I've already got them set up. I just haven't sent invites because I don't know who's coming back or who wants to be in or any of that. I
don't think I'm going to do any redrafts this year. I just can't. With this new job that I'm doing, I work 3 days, 12 hours with 4 days off. And it's fucking brutal. And now because it's the fucking holiday, I'm forced in. So I've been scheduled for fucking 60 hours.
Jesus.
I'm fucking 50 years old, man. I can't be fucking dealing with that bullshit.
Well, and when you got to worry about, like, when's the draft again? Like, I mean, and that's as much as we're like, do as many leagues as you can, bro. Like, here, you want to try some league? We're like drug pushers, like, snort it up your nose.
If someone tells me a draft, I go, draft? Oh, man, yeah, maybe I'll get just one more league. But
yeah, it's hard
suffer during the season.
Yeah, I mean it's hard not to, but at the same time, like when you overindulge it, or you go beyond, a man's got to know his limitation. You give the Clint Eastwood treatment. Like, this is why I didn't do the prospect league or the prospect draft that James is in, is because, yes, I'm a cheapskate and I don't want to pay a $25 buy-in, but also, like, I've got a lot of leagues. I got a lot of shit to keep track of, and it's not just like one sport. So commissioning so many leagues and just paying attention to what's going on, like the more I add, the less I can give individually. You know what I'm saying? So it's more about like quality of time versus quantity. I'd rather have quality leagues. I'd rather be part of fewer leagues. As much as it's fun to be in every kind of league there is, right?
Yeah.
You pick your favorites and, like maybe you step out a couple extra steps, this year or that year. But yeah, it's better to stay within your means, I think, and that way you enjoy what you're doing. Like, and you can give your best managerial performance.
Yeah, I can't do redrafts anymore. I just can't.
Well, I mean, once you got Dynasty, how do you ever look back anyways, right?
Exactly.
Because you're more invested.
When I first started doing drafts, fantasy baseball, it was public leagues, and that got fucking old. That's a shit show.
Oh yeah,
public leagues. People are interested for 2-3 weeks, and after that, no one's fucking playing.
Yeah, they're just gone. Yeah. No, I mean that's and that's kind of why, again, way back when we started FSAA, that was what Ryan and I were sick of, and that's even our own Dynasty leagues, which were good.
And then it's people like,
let's see how good we can get them. See how good they could really be.
Yeah, and then after a while, it's with people so.
Well, and now I was going to say the beauty of now is like we have social media, we have the YouTube channel, we have the website. Like, we know our managers. I know my managers. I know who's in my leagues. I can talk to each one of you. I can say, hey, you still around? Did you die in a car fire? What happened? Like, do I need to replace? What's up? And we got this back and forth where you can be like, hey, Tom, shit's just kind of fucked. I got a new job, or girlfriend dumped me, or like, oh, actually, I'm dead.
The first league I did in '99, we fucking drafted. It was guys from work, so I knew who they were.
Yeah,
we drafted in a fucking in a fire hall. A fire hall. It was a fire hall club, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
And we sat there with no fucking computers. We all bought the same motherfucking magazine and had the top 100. So every time someone picked a person, you're supposed to cross it off and then write it down in your fucking paper. Well,
it's like bingo.
So after like the 4th, 5th round and you're fucking 8-9 beers in, you draft somebody and they go, he's already been gone. It was a shit show. But it was a fun shit show.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, especially if everybody's there. I mean, we've always wanted to do that. Like, I would prefer to have that shit show sometimes, just because everybody's there in the same room. You'd be like, damn it, dude, he was taking 5 rounds ago.
With a computer, it's different. But when you had and then the commish had to take all those fucking papers to his house and manually put it on the computer. It was ESPN radio. It was ESPN fantasy. Yeah. So none of us had computers. So our lineup changes was a paper that he would hand out at work where we were working.
Oh,
it was a shit show.
Oh man, but that's cool as fuck though. I mean, that's real dedication. I mean, you think about it, like we're bitching about Fantracks, like, but I had to hit the submit button to make sure my lineup saved. Like,
so what we would
I didn't have to collect 12 pieces of paper and manually edit it. Like, that's all I care about.
Actually, more than that, because on Monday he would send a paper, say, okay, who do you want to pick up on a waiver wire? Now you would only allow one per person. So he would go to me because I was last. So I would pick this person who I dropped. So then the next person would go, then he'd go to him. He goes, why one? He goes, oh, you can't. Jose has him. So then they had it. And it would keep going till you would drop the players that you wanted.
Jeez. Oh my God.
It was a pain in the dick.
Now that's dedication.
And trades were even worse because I had a partner. So everyone knew that my partner was a fucking fucking crackhead.
Right.
So they would go to him to make trades. And then all of a sudden someone come to me, hey, well, how come you traded so and so? I'm like, I didn't trade nothing. So they made a clause that the paper both of us had a fucking sign. So a lot of times, me and my partner, we would get so fucking mad at each other because he goes, no, we should make this trade. I said, no, I'm not fucking signing the paper, and we're not fucking trading.
Oh my God.
So that year, we were last fucking place. The next year, we were like, I don't know, we should do this together again. But I wasn't comfortable enough to do a league by myself. I didn't have the knowledge.
Right.
So the second year we did it again together, and we actually won it all that year. Then the next year we broke up.
Okay. Well, but again, one and done. You know, you had the static the first year, and then you got it together, and then it was
And
like,
then we won.
I think we're both okay here.
And then we had a divorce.
Well, that's fine. You know, I mean, again, you're at that point, like, you know, what is it? The student becomes the teacher, or the student?
Well, it got really bad because we would argue that we were like two married couples that we didn't talk to each other for the longest time. The freaking commissioner had to get everything on paper, go to him, and then go to me. It was like fucking two spouses that had a lawyer who they were seeing for going through a divorce. It was ugly. This was in 99, 2000.
Well, I mean, that's fantasy. That's real fan. That's what fantasy used to be, and I love that though. Thank the fantasy gods that we have the internet to do all of this math and the bureaucracy for us. So that is, so as much as we could complain about like, oh, Fantracks doesn't have this, you don't have to sign a piece of paper with your co-manager.
And it's not a valid piece of paper if both ain't fucking signed. And we had to have a witness because it got to the point that the fucker would forge my name.
They're like, you need a notary public to stamp the fucking
So the guy that he was trading with, he goes, I'll sign for Jose. He's off today. And then I got wind of this shit. I said, no, I'm not fucking trading. Yeah, it got bad.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that. I'm glad we don't. I mean, again, we've got fun leagues. We've got a lot of management and a lot of talent that everybody just, you know, there's a little bit of gamesmanship, a little bit of one-upsmanship, nothing too severe. Nobody's seriously shit-talking anybody. And not, you know, there's a little ribbing, but I like that the leagues are, at this point, absent of sort of that stuff because everybody's like, look, I could win it, you could win it, you know, so-and-so could win it. Like, we're all pretty evenly matched here, you know. Like, I love that it's kind of like a mutual respect thing. And we also understand that in the end, in the best leagues we could run, it's ultimately sort of mutually assured destruction too, because it's like, look, we're just going to beat the Christ out of each other on the waiver wire. We're going to draft, like, you're going to be like, oh my God, I was going to try to take him 2 rounds ago or 2 rounds later, you know, and everybody's just like, like the drafts we do.
And some people draft totally different, you know. Some people don't give a fuck the way they draft.
Yeah.
Me, I'm so fucking meticulous. I make sure that's why I don't trade. I hardly trade because I drafted. I have it set up, my homework, that I don't need to fucking trade. My draft is how I'm going to keep and it works it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you do got to trade.
Your system.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And I think that's fine. I mean, I think that's, you know, if so, last point here, and then we'll shut it down. You know, if you want to get in, we're going to have a couple open spaces in the FSAA Dynasty baseball. I think 1, 2, maybe.
I think I'm in
sure.
2
We've had a few managers drop out. Look, a couple of longtime managers were not okay with the Fantracks switch, which is a bummer. Sorry, guys, that you couldn't stick around because you're missing out. It's just going to get better and better from here on out, as far as I'm concerned. But we've got some openings in the FSAA leagues. If you've been watching this Hangout or you want to just hop in, you've seen it passing, hit me up on Twitter or just chime in on our website or email me or something. But, this is what we do. We're going to try to get these Sunday Hangouts going a little more again. It was fun chilling with you, Jose. I'm glad we got to talk, dude.
No doubt.
Yeah, and James, again, we only got your intro, but that was good enough. Sandberg. Rounds third safely sliding into second.
I guess it's kind of weird. You're hearing the perspective of an old head who started it in '99, and that league that I was in, it was the fourth year when I first got in, and the person who fucking won all four, the same person had won.
Okay.
To the fifth year, our second year with my friend. We finally won. We finally
yeah, okay.
That dude from fucking sweeping.
I love it. That's all right. That's okay. That's you never want to be the loudest or smartest person in the room. Like, you always want to kind of be like looking around for that other voice that's not yours. And I think good leagues have that. And I think our leagues have that. Like,
the guy that won the 4 years in a row, I noticed that he always used to draft a certain way. And I noticed that he always would get 1-2 players in the same team. And almost every year he had Biggio and Bagwell. Those were his 1-2 players in the same team. He drafted them almost every fucking year that he won.
So he's like me. He's obsessed. He's got to have those. He's got to have his guys.
And Biggio, who sets the table.
Yeah.
And Bagwell
drives him in.
Yeah. And to this day I try to go by that recipe because it works.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, again, it's like, if you got a good team where you've got the table setter and the guy that cleans the table, I mean, like Ryan and I back in the day, way back. I mean, we used to have teams, like, I forget what Ryan's team was. Like, I think I had like Gary Sheffield and A-Rod constantly, and he had like David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez. And so we took a couple of those teams against each other.
But those ain't table setters. Those are all home run hitters.
But again, when you got your deuces, like your big horses, I would draft Yankees heavy. He would draft Red Sox, and not for any specific reason. No, I wasn't, I'm not a Yankees fan. We're D-backs fans. He wasn't a Red Sox fan. It was just like, how do you counter what the person you want to beat the most is doing? So,
see, with him, from him drafting Biggio, he got.
No, we drop out. I don't know if we dropped out or lost Jose or lost me. You never know on the internet sometimes. I think it's a fair place to wrap it up. I think you chopped out there, Jose.
Yeah, everything froze for a second there.
All right, we'll wrap it up. We'll call it a night. It's been a good hangout. I appreciate you joining me.
No problem.
And again, your Twitter handle is @JetsInfinity. If you ever want to hit up Jose, just chime in, say hey, say thanks for joining us. If you don't know who Jose is, he's @JetsInfinity on Twitter. And, of course, I am @letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, FSAA. Our website is fantasysportsaddicts.com. We're occasionally there, not very religiously, but we're trying to fix that. And, we're going to try to do these Sunday weekly hangouts as much as we can. Hope your fantasy football playoffs are a success. Hope your fantasy basketball season is going well. And I hope you're ready to play some fantasy baseball because, believe it or not, it's already started.
Yeah.
And you better be paying attention if you're serious about it. Andrew from Fantasy Aid @FantasyAid1. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, where the hell is he?
Where the fuck is Andrew? All right, we're not going to beat the kid up. We just want to know where the fuck he is. Come on, chime in. Hang out, buddy. We miss you. And Brawny's like, I can't log into the Hangout. Everybody else managed to get in. It's probably just because you need to restart either your computer or your phone.
That happened to me last time. Remember? I was so mad. I was trying to get in and I couldn't get in last time.
But I mean, it's so rare that everyone else can like join a Hangout and you can't, where it's not like something's kind of wrong on your end. Like, and it's not that it's your fault. It's just like maybe you got to restart or, you know, I mean, again, I even restarted the whole show. So I tried to get Brawny in. Brawny, sorry, we didn't give you a platform tonight. Look at my team.
I like when Brawny's in because Brawny brings the perspective that we don't have. He's young.
Yeah, Bronson's young. We're all like 30s. You're a little older.
I'm 50.
The lady doesn't tell her age. It's okay. But little Brawny, he's a little kid. You know what I mean? It's fucking kindergarten.
And he knows his shit.
By a kindergartner.
And he knows his shit. He's learning.
Yeah. By and large, he does. By and large, he does. The problem with Bronson, though, is whether or not he's actually dedicated. So he's kind of on thin ice. I mean, Brawny's been on thin ice for a while, but
he's
like
a fucking hoarder. He likes to hoard the fucking young talent, and he gets me mad about that.
You can't keep them all. You can't keep all the prospects, and this better be his year where he really takes that car out and starts taking it around the block. Because by God, if you don't, someone's going to take that team and just like,
I wish I had his team. Dude, if I had his team, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, that's a grip of prospects on all of his teams, basketball and baseball. I mean,
yeah.
So, I mean, it's time to start making some noise, Brawny. And if you don't,
he has more knowledge in basketball than I do. In basketball, he has more knowledge than I do.
Well, and he's there, but I just wish he was maybe a little more active. Granted, it's tougher. Probably somebody his age with the social pressures of being. Now, when he was an awkward kid, when he was like 45 different accounts telling us he was 45 years old or some shit.
I heard
I play fantasy sports since like 95 and whatever, you know, before he was even born. You know, but he was a young kid trying to impress us and kind of make his way in and all this. And now he's that like apathetic high school senior where it's just like fucking senioritis, like, fuck it, man. You know what I mean? Like he's gotten, so it's like two extremes of the same person. And like within a few years, then he's going to merge into an actual human being, adult, with a Gimli axe and a beard. And you know, maybe he'll be ready to like,
we see his fucking balls dropped right in front of us, the kid.
Technically, I guess we have, which I guess is supposedly, it's a little awkward to say on the internet, but we didn't actually watch. We heard the sound across the internet. We weren't looking, though, and we didn't even like hearing it, so.
You know exactly what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody knows. But Brawny's become a man in front of our eyes, yes, even if we didn't want to see it. God bless you, Brawny. Fantasy gods bless you. And on that note, let's just wind it up. Let's just wrap it up. Call it a night. Jose, again, thank you. It was good hanging out and talking. It's been a while, buddy. Cheers. Got a moon juice. Cheers your Coors. Boom. Yeah. All right, fantasy gods, please grant us the serenity to set our ideal lineups every fucking day and week if possible. Courage to add drop as necessary and aggressively in the wisdom.
And aggressively.
As always. You got to make good trades, baby. FantasySportsAddicts.com. Somebody might be there. But we're always at Twitter or on Twitter at letter F, letter S. We're double letter F, SAA. Jose, thank you for joining me. You are at Jets. Jets. Let's go, Jets. Jets Infinity. And, of course, Cubby Knoll, who's no longer with us. James, CUBBYNOLE. It's good hanging out. Good Sunday night hangout. Thank you. See you guys soon.
Later.